Welcome back. Simultaneously, the somewhat interesting part, and also the part that's gonna make me miss Monokuma again, isn't it? And back to this place.
Where am I? What should I do? I'll need to explain everything, won't I?
We don't have much of a choice now. No point in keeping secrets here.
Halara? Let me explain. And that's how this mystery labyrinth involving the Nailman killings materialized.
I see. So mystery labyrinths are materialization of mysteries themselves, and the truth is encased deep within. I appear to have underestimated you. This is an amazing forte. I must admit, it's quite a superhuman power. As far as I know, no other ability comes close to this. Who are you? I refuse to think you're just a trainee detective.
To be honest, this isn't my ability.
Before you continue, tell me, who is that woman beside you?
Her name is Shinigami. I think the simplest way to describe her is that she's a guide for the Mystery Labyrinth.
That's me! I'm also Master Scarecute Mentor.
Yeah.
On to my next question.
You're just gonna ignore me?
Good.
You mentioned the mailman case just now. I had heard the rumors about that around town. Why are you investigating that case?
Huh? What are you talking about? We were just investigating the Nailman case together.
The mailman. We were pursuing that case together?
You don't remember? There was a young boy who wanted to hire a detective and you turned him down.
I do remember you received a request from a child about some case, and you ended up seeking my help. The cost for hiring me was 5,500,800 yen.
You remember the exact amount.
But I can't remember what the case involved. I do vaguely recall investigating something. My mind is clouded. I don't remember exactly what was being investigated or what was discovered.
Could that be?
Yeah, it's because of the Mystery Labyrinth. The Mystery Labyrinth is a fortress protecting the truth, so outsiders usually can't reach it. If someone did happen to wander in, their memories of the case would be locked away. Though, if you have a pact with me, you wouldn't be affected. But I guess that part of the pact can't be shared.
This is the Mystery Labyrinth's defense mechanism. It makes sense for a vault that protects its treasure, the truth, to have a significant level of security.
Yep, totally not strange at all. Halara here sure is smart.
Halara.
Oh, don't mind her. She gives people random nicknames.
Anyway, since my memories of the case have been taken away, I will provide a supporting role for your investigation.
Supporting role?
As long as we're in here, I will act as your assistant. Well, that's the same as our original agreement.
That means we can't rely on Halara's detective skills to blast through this dungeon. That's unfortunate, but it's still nice to have an ally.
Hey, Master. Before we head into the Mystery Labyrinth, let's do that thing.
Huh? What thing?
And I very much would prefer a Monokuma I could kick right now.
Are you ready to give your life for the truth?
Just give me the bear so I can kick the bear
I am.
and just move along. Joe, if you are in chat, this is why I would prefer to have Monokuma as the sidekick, so I could just kick him. Instead of having to deal with this bullshit.
This world is just full of surprises. I assume that sword is used to cut down enemies interfering with your progress through the Mystery Labyrinth.
You're right. It's a special sword that can interact with things here.
I better materialize the solution keys I got during the investigation, too. That was a lot. Here you go.
Do you have to vomit them out every time?
What? Should I use a different hole instead?
Sorry, please don't mind her.
Alright, we're all set. Now, let's unriddle this mystery labyrinth. Our target is the true culprit who preys on the truth.
I understand that progressing through this Mystery Labyrinth won't allow us to obtain the truth. But what happens to us if we can't find it?
We'd be lost, wandering around here forever.
But as long as we reach the truth, it doesn't matter how much time we spend here.
Oh, I forgot to mention this, but there's a time limit for solving the mystery labyrinth.
What?
There's a limit to how long you can stay in here. Stick around too long and your soul will leave your body behind. Your soul will wander until it's eventually absorbed by the mystery labyrinth, and you vanish entirely. In other words, you die.
Why are you laughing? You should have told me this a long time ago!
Oh, relax. Quit whining. A detective is bound to die anyway. Isn't that right, Laura?
It's no different from our usual life. A detective's life is always on the line.
See? Listen up, Master. You might learn something.
You're taking this awfully well, Laura. What's this?
They seem to represent the 4 crime scenes. I assume that solving all 4 will allow us to progress.
Oh, I see.
You see? Master, this is your job. So what's first? How about starting with the clock tower, since it was the first one you investigated?
If the numbers are set chronologically, then the clock tower would be the 4th locked room mystery.
Game clearly wants me to go to 4. I would kind of like to go instead over to 1.
First knife.
Okay, the game's gonna tell me specifically go do that. Fine.
Are you going to the fourth locked room?
Hello there, doll. How are you? Do you happen to know Annabelle? Or Chucky? Or Tiffany?
This is
Okay.
an exact replica of the clock tower crime scene.
Anyway.
Shinigami, you didn't recreate it with your powers, did you?
No, I can only do that when I hit you so hard in the head you almost died. Looks to me like the crime scene materialized in the labyrinth on its own.
The fourth locked room is the latest chronologically, correct?
That's right. And this is also what got me involved in the mailman killings.
What are the details of the case? Try to tell me as concisely as possible.
The crime was a locked room murder inside the storage room of a clock tower. In the middle of the room was a woman's corpse covered in...
Oh, so you missed you missed part of the worst elements of it that specifically were why I wanted Monokuma to kick around.
It looked just like one of those bizarre
That's the
crime
floating purple ghost thing.
scenes that mailman from urban legend.
And the nailman killers. From the look of it, the door was locked from the inside.
Yeah, it was locked until the body was discovered.
There's only one window.
Yeah, scroll back a little bit and you'll see what I mean by
I see.
just give me the bear so I can kick him.
This is the third floor of the clock tower. It's too high up to jump from here.
So it really is a locked room mystery.
Hey, if this is a locked room, aren't we stuck in here too? Oh no! Master! We're trapped unless you solve this mystery!
Duh. Then we're just gonna solve the thing. It'll be fine. Okay. Did you really need to do that right now?
I see. So that's how to make the questions appear.
I'm surprised you're so calm after seeing that.
Where did they flee from?
Here,
Yeah. Congrats.
it has to be here. The culprits must have escaped through the window.
And your reasoning?
When I arrived at the scene, the window shutters were closed. It was wet underneath the window, but I could tell it was already starting to dry.
Which means the window was open not too long ago.
It's likely the culprit escaped through the window and closed the shutters on the way out.
Is it possible to close the shutters from the outside?
Yes, this style of shutter automatically locks, so if you let go of the shutters at the right height, its momentum pulls it down, and once down, it locks all on its own. In other words, the culprit held up the shutters while moving outside, and once they let go, it automatically locked.
In that case, let's try leaving this locked room in the same way.
Right, let's try it. The mailman killings have already been solved.
Is he that peacekeeper?
It's a mystery phantom! The people covering up the case in the real world are manifested like that here to stop us! You think the culprit really escaped from here, this high up? If you fall, you die. Why don't you give it a try?
Help!
Oh, good to see that goes both ways. Oh, boy. New mechanic. Well, one of them, he couldn't help it. The other one was not his choice. Correct button when you think you have the correct answer. Okay.
Yuma, the mystery labyrinth is a manifestation of a mystery. So solving it will get us out of this, right?
I think so.
The culprit wouldn't have fallen out of the window like we did. They would need a tool to get up and down.
A tool?
You should have found something during the investigation. I was helping you, after all. You must have seen the answer with your own eyes. Try to remember.
Wrong button. Great, cool, thanks. I do not particularly like QuickTime events. Especially when I'm not entirely certain what buttons I'm going to be told to press between.
The culprit had used that rope to escape through the window. Oh, I can't dodge it!
Yes. So is it just flatly A each and every time? If it is, that's gonna make this a lot easier instead of needing to hover over like 4, because I was hovering over all 4 of WASD.
It wouldn't be possible to climb down a rope simply hooked onto a window, unless you've had special training for it. There's no way an amateur could manage it. That can't be how things went down.
In that case, it couldn't have been an ordinary rope. It must have been...
What's that? I can't hear you!
Don't worry, I'm right here with you.
Okay, so it does have a bunch of them be used at once. That's good to know. It flatly tells you when it's gonna be a bunch of them all at once.
We're alive, I think.
Yuma, are you okay?
Yeah, thanks. You saved me, Alara.
Correct. It's all thanks to me. Money well spent, man.
Well, it was a lot of money.
Come on, are you two just gonna keep staring at each other all day? Let's get out of this locked room.
Right.
So this is the rope ladder in question. It certainly would help you escape. The details of the case are still unclear to me. Was this found in the church's incinerator?
That's right. It didn't concern me at the time, but it makes sense now. The rope can be folded in the middle, and then the ends can be connected together. And that's how they made a rope ladder.
What makes you so sure it was used here?
The nail under the window showed signs of friction from a rope, and had some yellow fibers on it. A clergy member showed me the rope's burnt remains, and I noticed it was the same yellow color. And there were footprints on the ground below the window of the clock tower, facing the wall. Thinking about it now, these were clearly signs that someone climbed down the rope ladder and landed there.
Wait, wasn't the rope ladder hitched on that nail? How did they get it down from the bottom?
The culprit could have cut it one rung at a time as they descended. By the time they reached the bottom, it would have been one long single rope, which they could easily pull down.
The window shutters fell due to its weight and locked automatically, completing the locked room.
Yep, that's a stellar deduction. Major props. Me for terrating you.
Oh, shush.
The culprit used that rope ladder to escape the clock tower. What of it? That doesn't change our verdict at all. The watchmaker is the culprit.
Master, we'll kill the mystery phantom blocking your path.
Yeah!
Alright. Here we go. This should actually reuse a mechanic from the previous one, I think. Yeah, this is going to be the same mechanic as the previous one. Good. Now I just need to remember the control scheme for that.
These deductions of yours are unnecessary. It's clear who the culprit is. The watchmaker was nearby at the time of the crime. The watchmaker was also at the scene. And he had a hammer for the nails. In other words, he committed the crime. After committing the crime, just as you deduced, he created that lock.
Say,
Right.
Okay. Slightly too
These
early.
deductions of yours are unnecessary.
Okay. Definitely do not want to
The
fast
watchmaker
forward
was
this.
also at the scene.
I'm getting thrown
And
off
he
by
had a
having
hammer for the nails.
done the thing too
In other
fast the
words,
first
he
time.
committed the crime.
Alright.
After committing the crime, just as you
Screw off,
deduced,
man.
he created that locked room.
How many words you gonna throw at me?
Via the rope ladder.
Ah, there you go. Bye bye.
The watchmaker is afraid of heights. He couldn't even look out the windows as he went up the tower. No way he climbed a rope ladder that high up. So it's impossible for him to have committed the crime. He's not the nailman.
Alright. Onwards.
You said these mystery phantoms try to cover up the case, right? Which means the peacekeeper Seth is trying to do just that.
I don't know why, but it's clear that peacekeepers are involved with this case.
Perhaps it is connected to Conrad Warren's ultimate secret. All the more reason to seize the truth. Let's go.
Right.
jeez, who's the protagonist here?
the way, Luna, about your sword. Does it only work on cues and mystery phantoms?
The solution blade works against anything in the Mystery Labyrinth. So, don't cut your allies by mistake, Master.
Oh, so you're saying I can cut you down with it? Good.
Can I use that sword?
I know my next target then.
Oh, so sorry. Only Master is able to use it because he made a pact with yours truly. You may be under the effects of coalescence, but you're just an extra here, Hellara. So, no, you can't use the solution blade.
I was merely curious. Regardless, it's best I act as support, since I don't have any memories of what happened. Let's return to the case. Assuming the watchmaker isn't the culprit, do you have any notion of who is?
I do. Halara, during the investigation, you claimed one of the people at the church is the culprit. I think I understand the reason why now. That rope was found inside the incinerator, which only clergy members could access.
In other words, whoever tried to destroy the evidence is a member of the church. Prompt and logical. I am quite impressive.
You tooting your own horn?
You do that constantly. What are you talking about? Alright.
Hey, a treasure chest. Open it.
You didn't even give me a chance to answer.
Solution key.
Okay. But that was stated already.
We're back to the original spot.
And now that all is floating, nice.
We just need to keep this up and go through each shrine one by one to gather clues about the culprit. Which supposedly leads to solving the real-life case. I'm starting to understand how the Mystery Labyrinth operates.
You learn fast. Unlike a certain master I know.
If you're so impressed, why don't you just sign a pact with Halara?
Oh, are you sulking? You're the jealous kind, aren't ya?
No, I'm not.
We're short on time, aren't we? Let's move on.
Right.
I can't wait to reap the culprit's soul. What do we do next? You can choose whichever you want, so why not start with the one you're most confident with?
Let's see.
Is it gonna choose one for me again? No, it's not. Okay. We're going in order from now on.
The first locked room happened 6 months ago in a secret club in Kamasaki district. An old geezer was nailed to the wall in an underground casino. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the first locked room?
Alright. Next mystery.
Did we get trapped inside a locked room again?
You're going on and on about my character being being slow to realize things, and yet you can't.
Sounds kind of fun, actually.
We have no intention of playing
Just
along.
give me the bear so I can kick him.
Hurry up and take care of this.
Yeah, okay. This is where I used Halara's forte with my coalescence for the first time. Post-cognition allowed us to see the crime scene as it was in the past. Some things were obviously different. Those are most suspicious.
That's cool. That's cool.
Here.
Wow.
I know. What about the vent?
You believe the culprit escaped through the vent?
Yes, I'm sure of it. When I saw the crime scene with your post-cognition, the screws on the four corners of the vent cover were removed. Which means the culprit must have escaped from there.
Oh, and you're back.
How ludicrous. You're saying the culprit escaped from the vent? That's impossible.
Am I certain that you are the real Joe? Alright. Time for this again. Okay, warm up. Let's see. Give me a moment.
How ludicrous. They used the vent. That's utterly impossible. Think of where that vent is. Isn't it pretty high up? There's no way you could get there. Even if the cover was removed.
Okay.
There's no foothold to
Chill out.
use to reach it.
Yes, there was. There were the nails. Anyways. Well, there's a couple of things I could ask that the real Joe would know. One of which involves a bet with you, and one of which involves something I do not wish to discuss.
To the wall as far to reach the vent. The weight caused the nails to bend.
And the real Joe would know exactly what those two things are, as vague as I described them.
Yeah, no kidding.
However, solving the mystery itself was simple. The nails were used as footing to escape through the vent. Did you find that out using my post-cognition?
Yeah, without your help, this case would have been impossible to solve.
You'll never be considered a full-fledged detective until you can handle a case like this on your own.
Sorry.
You got lectured again. Sucks to be a rookie, huh? Anyway, let's head out. We'll use the nails on the wall as footing, just like you deduced.
Right, let's hurry.
Pasta recipe? Are you sure you don't mean enchilada recipe?
The Mystery Labyrinth. Such a bizarre place. I must ask, is there no way to escape this?
I don't much often make pasta.
You mean like an emergency exit? Unfortunately, I don't think that exists.
Emergency exit, huh? Well, there is one, kinda.
There is?
But it doesn't solve anything. You'll just go right back to the mess you came from. Besides, to use the emergency exit, you'll have to pay a heavy, heavy price.
And that is?
Don't worry about it. Using it here wouldn't help anyway. So, never mind. Just concentrate on solving the mystery.
Got it.
Alright.
There it is! Another treasure! So, who's gonna open the treasure chest this time? How about whoever looks like they'd win a character popularity poll?
At this point, I would point the sword at her
See?
to stop her from opening the chest.
Solution key.
Looks like another clue leading us to the culprit.
Someone pen.
Considering the culprit used those nails as footing, it would have to be limit. And given the size of the vent, only someone thin could fit through it.
So the culprit must be thin. We're narrowing down the possibilities quite nicely.
Keep it up, Master. This is all thanks to my training.
Here's the funny thing. You know exactly what they were probably trying to do with this character, and meanwhile you have me just shitting on her. Alright. On to location number 2.
The second locked room mystery occurred 3 months ago in that mansion. The corpse was inside the study, and the room's key was found underneath the corpse. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the second locked room?
You're heading to that room, yes. Why else would I have selected to go to that room? Yes, she is very annoying, and you missed a couple of animations that really made me just wish I had Monokuma to kick around instead.
Victim was named down in the same manner. And the culprit was also missing from this room? It shares common traits with the other man-man killings.
And we're trapped again. Looks like you gotta solve the mystery of this locked room, or we're not leaving.
I'll try.
Do your best to not make me cleave you in half this time.
The door was locked when the corpse was found. And the only key was underneath the body. There are no windows that could have been used to escape. And the vent is too small to fit through. So how did the culprit escape from here?
Why? The front door. Well, the door to the room.
This has to be the spot. To leave the room, the culprit had to have taken this door to the hallway.
Huh? There's nothing special about that.
But there's no other possibility. There isn't another entrance or exit.
But the door itself was locked and the key was found under the corpse, right? After locking it from outside in the hallway, how did the culprit
I think I know how they go.
key under the corpse?
I think I know.
Everything must be verified.
Sure. After committing the crime, the culprit went out to the hallway with the key in hand. They then locked the door. Assuming that's the only way to create this locked room, the problem is...
What are you going to do with that key in your hand, Master? Don't tell me you still have no idea.
Hold on, let me think this over. We should go back inside for now. Huh?
Looks like we're locked up.
What? No.
Calm down. You just need to solve the mystery. Doing that will open the path. You can do it, can't you?
Yes, I'll try.
We have to put the key back in the locked room, right?
The vent.
That keys.
That's right. The key could be slid through the gap in the vent cover above the door. And if they managed to throw the key right under the corpse from here...
That wasn't quite what I was expecting, but that's roughly the same premise.
It stopped. But nothing happened. The door is still closed.
What was wrong? A trap would have activated. So we're on the right track about the key being thrown in.
But there's more to it than that. If you simply threw it in, it'd be impossible to position it under the corpse. I see. So this is the vital clue for this locked room. I'm beginning to understand what happened here.
Laura, have you already solved the trick to this locked room? You haven't?
Hey, quit playing hard to get and tell us. Or just me. You can whisper it in my ear.
If you want information from me, you'll have to pay a fitting price in Shein. Of course, I don't work for cheap.
You really are a devil. Trying to take money from a death god, huh?
The key was definitely tossed inside. But that doesn't explain how it got under the corpse.
This corpse was sitting up.
How did the culprit pull off that trick after tossing the key in?
Corpse was
Maybe the
sitting up.
corpse was moved? That would explain how it was on top of the key. But how do you move a body from outside a locked room?
Aww, the way's completely blocked off.
But the only things here that can block our progress are mysteries, right?
That's true. So, we just need to solve the mystery.
I like how I solved them
Heads up first.
very fast, and then there's a lot of chatting.
I've been trying to figure it out for a while, but...
Evidence was left at the scene.
Huh?
If you look at the evidence, you'll understand what tool the culprit used to pull this off.
Tool?
That's all the advice I'll provide. You must figure out the rest yourself if you wish to be a true detective.
Got it.
Got it? You just want the mystery solved for you, huh? I can tell, because I'm your mentor.
Just move
Help
along.
you out. Are you ready?
Oh, is it gonna do that thing again?
Ready for
Just
what?
let me end up solving the stupid thing.
Master.
Of course it's gonna do this. Be gone, give me the plush bear that I can kick around.
Try to solve it. Lick it.
Give me... Screw you and your cooldown. Yeah, I don't know how that's supposed to end up helping either. Just give me the bear and let me just actually just solve it. I don't care about all... whatever the hell that was. Exactly.
That's right. There was evidence of a thin string being used at the scene of the crime. A sturdy and thin string like a fishing line must have been used to move the body.
Oh, they've done more than just that section, Joe. You missed the very beginning where they went also quite all out with it, and the very end of last stream where they went quite all out with it.
Master sounded really confident just now.
Yeah, and I assume you're starting to realize why I would prefer to have Monokuma to just kick around. That would be vastly better.
The corpse was fixed in place. So how could the corpse be moved?
Oh, true. The corpse was stuck in place. It'd be impossible to move it.
Yeah. You also now see what I mean by it's hilarious that you can tell what they're trying to do with that character, and I'm just like, no. I would prefer to have out of my sight.
Huh? The door!
Of course it is. Because your deduction is wrong. You people will never reach the truth. This is the end.
Master, let's take him down first.
Yeah.
Alright. Time for, good, one of these things. Oh yeah, since I think the game originally released on the Switch, it suggested using a controller. I am not using a controller. Clearly.
Your deduction is wrong. Do you have any proof that the corpse was moved? The corpse was fixed in place. It didn't move a millimeter. In fact, that corpse shows no sign it was ever moved.
Yes, it does. It shows exactly that it was moved.
No, there was evidence the body had been moved. The upper and lower parts of the body bled out differently. The blood from the lower body flowed naturally outwards, along the body's outline. But blood from the upper body looks like it flowed in a downward direction, toward his hips. If the corpse was motionless on its back, there wouldn't be such unusual blood stains. In other words, it's safe to assume the body's position was different from when it was discovered.
Again, here I am solving a lot of things just almost instantly, just by putting 2 and 2 together, and then there's a bunch of chatting in between.
What? What's this?
Ah, gross! We gotta hurry and get through that door.
Unusual circumstances. It doesn't matter. As long as the corpse was pinned to the floor, it couldn't be moved. You can't change the truth.
Even this didn't work? Am I just wrong about it all?
No.
No, you're correct. The answer you've reached using the evidence is the truth.
Laura!
There's no doubt a fine string was used in this case. Evidence at the crime scene indicate the corpse was moved. So all that remains is to answer, how was the pin bottom moved? That bizarre bloodstain holds the clue to all of this.
The bloodstain? If the bloodstain is the clue for how the body could be moved, even while pinned...
Master, we gotta chase after the door. It's getting further away.
Hey, wait!
I won't let you.
And before it was moved. Upper body sitting up.
That's right. The corpse was sitting up at first. That's why only the wounds in the upper half of the body bled straight down. The string I mentioned before was thin but sturdy. It was all over the room, holding the body's upper half in place. That's the reason only the corpse's neck had marks on it.
And voila.
The culprit then retrieved all the string that kept the corpse in place from outside the door. And with nothing to support it, the top half of the corpse fell back to the floor, just like how it was discovered.
It appears this locked room mystery will finally be solved.
And we're let back into the room. How nice.
Huh? When did that happen?
Maybe you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Master, you know the answer, right? Well, let's finish this.
Right.
Boy.
You gotta think like the culprit, Master. That place is suspicious. You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery.
Alright, let's see.
Maybe you got the order wrong. Stick, first, you need to tie the fishing line down. Find a sturdy spot where it can be easily retrieved later.
So you're saying just to go... Hang on.
First,
Okay.
the knot was tied through a slit in the vent. After
You
that,
didn't
the
necessarily
chain was
need to
drawn
put
away
that
to
there
another
first.
location.
I think I'm going around the opposite direction of...
Easier to start
I think I mentally was going around the opposite direction than the game wanted the answers for. Let's see. Let's see.
Does this location matter? Master, you said you're looking for something that's fixed in...
Okay, fine. Apparently not that. Here, wait.
That's it. It passed through a doll's eye.
I knew that was gonna easily be a
The
step.
passed through the eye to somewhere else.
Yeah. Congrats. Passed to there.
Right. The line was then passed around a certain point on the corpse. That was... here, behind the neck. The line ends here to support it. Now, it's clear that the line passed through the vent, the doll's eye, and ended beneath the neck.
Hang on. Why pull the line through the doll first? Can't you just start by pulling it from under the body?
To support the body's weight, the line is to pass through the doll first, as it was fixed in place.
Yeah, it was fixed in place because you went about it the other way, potentially around. Well, I was assuming was going to be noted would, since that's knocked over, it might have been pulled from there, around there, then into there, and then around the corpse. But I'm trying to think now. What could it have exactly wanted? Could be back up through the vent.
Return the line to the vent.
Exactly.
This kept
Very
the corpse's
nice.
upper torso in place. The room has been completely prepared. So next...
Okay. Next would be going through the door.
The culprit exited through the door and locked it with the key. And then... the key was thrown through the gap in the vent.
I had the right concept, but didn't quite have
If the
the,
culprit managed to drop the key next to the corpse,
didn't quite have the right exact setup that they were going for.
the corpse, which was supported only on the line, would fall face up on top of the key. That's how the culprit created the locked room.
Hooray! You did it! That's my master!
Be gone with you. Alright. Another mystery solved.
Strange. The length of the nails driven into the upper and lower body were different. The nails on the upper half didn't penetrate all the way through the body. But the nails on the lower half went all the way through and into the floor. That was how the lower half could be secured, while the upper half could still be moved around.
That sure was tricky.
Just has a collection of keys at home. One for each of these scenes.
Looks like we finally made it to the treasure chest. Speaking of, don't you think that whoever worked the hardest should get to open it? Witches, of course.
This is probably another clue leading to the culprit. I'm not sure how to use it. Still, it must be used for something. Hold on to it for now. Let's solve the rest.
Right.
The rest or the last? Because there is one last room to solve.
The third locked room was a murder that happened 1 month ago in the art gallery storage in Gima district. Pictures and paint were scattered all around the spot where a woman was boom killed. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the third locked room?
We have nowhere else to go. Let's see. You know what would be funny, Joe? It'd be funny if randomly one of your people ended up showing up.
Did we get stuck inside a locked room again?
Oh, shut up, you.
This was the corpse that was discovered by that worshipper and the art gallery employee. And at the time of discovery, the door was locked and the key was nailed to a door inside the room. Aside from the door, the only other entrance is the window, but it opens just enough to fit a finger in. The frame itself is too small for even a child to squeeze through. How did the culprit vanish from here?
This one I'm not as certain about. don't think it's that. It'd have to be this door again.
Here.
Yeah.
I think the culprit could have only escaped from here, but...
Nothing's happening. Maybe you made a mistake, Master.
No, that can't be right. It's impossible for anyone to squeeze through that window. They could have only gotten out through the door. I'm sure the culprit had the key and locked the door from the outside after committing the crime.
The culprit just used a copy of the key. Would that really be considered a locked room mystery?
Well, there are only 2 keys to the storage space, and the design makes them impossible to duplicate. I learned that thanks to you, Alara.
One of the keys is always carried by that one employee. It was used when the body was first discovered, right? And the only other key was nailed through a doll onto a painting. So, it is a locked room mystery! Right? Right? That's totally it.
I see. I suppose you could call it that. Hey, Yuma. Can you go check outside of that window?
Oh, just like before.
Before?
Yeah, you made me do the same thing in the real world when we were investigating this place.
I see. Then the answer has already been confirmed. Very well. This locked room is solved.
Huh? Wait, did you already solve this mystery?
You haven't? How about you go and check outside the window? Then even you may see.
Alright, let's go
Whoops.
see.
I did not mean to skip the dialogue there. Oh well.
Wait, didn't you already check this in the real world? Why do it again?
Alara told me to check it twice. There must be an important clue outside that window.
Maybe the culprit threw the key in through the window. That way, the key would be found inside.
But the nail through
Well,
key.
how about that theory?
Is this the storage key?
Which means... This one's a freebie! I was right! Just toss it in there, Master.
No.
The culprits threw the key inside? Is that really the right answer?
The first Labyrinth literally showed she was terrible at solving these things.
Hurry up and throw the key! Your footing's crumbling away! You're gonna fall!
I don't think it was.
That's the right answer?
Yes.
Didn't the culprit throw the key in there? And that's why the key was found inside, right?
No, there's a nail going through it.
The crime scene wouldn't end up like that if we threw it in. The key was nailed to a painting. That's not possible if you just throw it into the room.
Oh, right. But if the culprit didn't throw it in there, how was the key left in the room?
If you can't nail the key after throwing it...
Oh, hello again.
You're back. The key vanished.
The key is in my hand.
Master, you got the doll and nail!
I see. So you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Try it out. Doing so will create a new path.
I'm gonna
Okay.
solve this.
Good luck, Master!
Alright.
You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery. First, do something about that doll.
Alright, first, take the painting.
Well, you can't just flatly nail the key to the painting, or that's the painting without the key being on. So, I guess that.
Wait, it's too early for that step. The key will be nailed to the painting at the end. But you must nail something else on before that.
Right.
The culprit nailed the doll onto the painting. Next, both were stood up at a certain location.
Okay. I'm not quite following.
The painting was stood up facing the window. Now the part with the pierced doll is right next to the window.
Okay, now I'm following, but this is. That is. That is a very, that is a very convoluted way.
The door was locked, and they went to the other side of the storage room.
I follow now, but I did not get it at first. Because now we'd be able to do that.
Doll through the window, but I can barely fit my hand through the gap.
The doll's got a nail in it. The problem is that key in your hand, Master.
Yeah, the culprit took the key and then.
No. Think about the state the corpse was in. The key wasn't just hanging on it. What's the next step?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, so I don't think this one's actually possible. Unless you really get the positioning really, really good and you get the back supported really good, that's just gonna topple over when you try and nail it to the doll. I tell you that this is not actually possible.
Finally,
Because, yeah, the last step would be knock the painting towards the room, but again, it already would have fallen towards the room the second you go to hammer the nail in.
it completes the locked room mystery. This is how the culprit did it.
This is not as feasible as it is in the game. I like how I'm now just picking apart how the game decided to do a locked room.
So to mislead us into thinking that was impossible, the key was nailed to a painting which was then pushed over.
It's one thing for an amateur, but a detective wouldn't be tricked by this.
Seriously, only amateurs would get fooled by. Wait.
Quite
you
literally.
mean me?
Quite literally, that would not work. If you prop it up against the wall, the second you go to hammer it in, it's going to fall. You aren't gonna hammer shit in. It's just gonna push the painting over way too early. And you won't get the nail in, you won't get the key on.
We should let the meanest one of us open it.
How would you decide that?
Like this. I'm the meanest. Let's check out this treasure. Huh?
What's wrong?
It's empty.
Huh? Why? After all we went through to solve this locked room.
This must mean solving the third locked room mystery doesn't necessarily bring us any closer to the ultimate truth.
That's terrible. I suddenly feel so tired.
We can't call it quits. We gotta keep going.
Well, now where do we go? All the trees are aflame.
We make a pretty good team. Don't you think so?
Maybe if it's just me, the other detective, and then you're off going doing something else.
I see. The way forward is clear. It must be due to solving all of the locked room mysteries. Now let's go.
Right.
Again, I gotta ask. Who's supposed to be the protagonist here?
Alright, onwards.
This place is creepy.
Don't be afraid to roll the dice. You must keep pursuing the truth. Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Why do I feel like if me and you were trying to solve this and we came to this room, one of us would have gone over to the chains and went, "Hey, I wonder if we can. I wonder if this will support our weight."
Is this some dungeon?
What is the meaning of this? Let me out of here!
Let me out! I'll kill your ass in the name of God!
I have nothing to do with the case.
I'm not the culprit! Let me go!
Wow, they're all here!
So now we must pick out the true culprit of this case.
The true culprit.
Yuma, you solved all the locked room mysteries before you made it here. You should have all the clues and evidence you need to accuse the culprit. To be honest, when I first met you, I thought you were rather pitiful.
You sure are honest.
But my opinion of you has improved. These mysteries have brought you closer to becoming a true detective. Now tie up all the loose ends and prove that I am not mistaken about you. With your logic, anything is possible.
All right, I'll try.
Ooh, somebody's guilty! My heart's pounding!
Interesting.
I'm not the nail man!
I'm not the culprit. I'm not
Definitely
the
not you.
mailman.
How can I be the mailman?
I'm not the nail man!
Let's see.
I'm not the culprit.
So it's insisting I choose one of them.
I'm not the nail man!
How can I be the mailman?
Return to the scene of the crime.
I'm not the culprit.
I'm not the nail man!
I be the nail man?
I'm not the nail.
How can I be the nail man?
I'm not the nail.
I'm not the culprit.
I'm not the nail.
How can I be the nail?
I'm not the nail man.
I half think her. And I appear to be wrong.
Don't make me kill your ass.
Interesting.
Considering all the evidence gathered so far, only one person can be the nail man.
I'm not the nail man.
How can I be the nail man?
That's not it either. So it's not either of the two I thought. Interesting.
Considering all the evidence gathered so far, only one person.
I'm trying to add this up though.
I'm not the nail.
I'm not the culprit.
Can't be the last one. So it has to be
The
you.
culprit is you, Father.
What? That's an absolutely...
Ridiculous thing to say.
Him again? Why won't he just give up?
You're saying the priest, a man of the cloth, is the culprit. That's impossible. How dare you spew such nonsense?
I'm not quite certain how it's getting this
Do not make baseless
either.
accusations. The culprit has to be someone else.
Yuma, can I leave this to you?
It's not a baseless accusation. You're the only one who could possibly be the culprit.
Master, you're acting like a real detective. Go on and bow to him.
Oh, shut up. Alright. I'm not exactly certain what specifically pointed to him. I'll figure it out though. Assist incinerator.
I'm a man of the cloth. It's total blasphemy. I'm not the nail man. That's it. The first one to discover the bodies. The mailman is the worshiper.
No, can't be him. That's the thing I did forget of between those two. Can't be him because he can't get to the incinerator.
The ladder used in the clock tower's locked room was found in the incinerator. which only
Oh, I
provides
see what it's
access.
trying to imply.
The
I must have
worshiper
missed
may be a
something
regular
of
church
that.
member, but he's no
The
clergy
break
member,
of arm was.
so he's no
I-
longer a suspect.
I see. I overlooked the break of arm, thinking it was extremely recent. There we go. Those are the two things I ended up missing.
Church is the culprit. Even so, I am not the culprit. There are others working for the church. Yes, there's the servant. The servant must be the nailman. The servant was able to commit the crimes. To be eliminated as a
Same
suspect.
person. There we go.
He pretended to discover a roadblock.
I see exactly what I need here.
Then
Yep.
The militant church is the culprit. Even so, I am not the culprit. There are others working for the church. Yes, there's the servant. The servant must be the nailmaker. The servant was able to commit the crimes.
No.
Slash through this mystery.
That's why I knew it was immediately not him.
Climbing up to the underground casino's window with only nails for footing would require considerable agility. Judging by the size of the window, there's no way someone of his size could have committed the crime.
No, no! Absolute lies! The nun must be the culprit. She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes. It's not like she's afraid of heights. She used the nails to climb. And you know she's always
Just helpful.
I'll kill your ass in the name of God. It's clear she's the ruthless sort.
But
The nun must be the culprit. She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes. It's not like she's afraid of heights.
That's not it. I'm not quite certain what this one is.
The nun must be the culprit. She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes. It's not like she's afraid of heights. She used the nails to climb.
Not either. I don't like how vague they're being with the
And also works at the church.
information given.
Able to commit the crimes. It's not like she's afraid of heights. She used the nails to climb. And you know she's always saying, I'll kill your ass in the name of God. It's clear she's the ruthless sort.
I'm gonna have to look at the actual keys.
The nun must be the culprit.
What the hell is it trying to get at? The strangulation. That's what it's getting at.
She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes.
It's also not. Specifically, one that she couldn't have made is what it's getting at. Oh, that's what it's getting at. Okay, fine. I hate when they get vague with this shit.
The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes.
I apparently missed that first strike. Oh well. That is a mean answer to that question.
The mansion study's locked room.
The immediate answer is just flatly stating the broken arm.
Dominant hand injured, the nun couldn't have done that, which means she's not the culprit.
The answer was blatantly the broken arm, but you made it so that you have to go the roundabout way to use a specific room of the and type of the murder to prove you needed both arms. Despite just flatly pointing out, how would she climb the ladder even with a broken arm?
Father, it's you. You are the nail man.
We do not need one specific thing.
Otherwise, they'll
Doesn't work for multiple.
Well,
You're useless. I am a priest in service to God. I am not the nail man.
Now what?
What god would make you this ugly?
All your proof is nothing but fantasy. You don't have a single piece of hard evidence.
Hard evidence?
Master, you do! It's easy.
Based on the facts, the priest must be the culprit. The decisive evidence that proves it is... I don't know. Oh, what do I do? What do I do?
What?
A detective must always prioritize solving a case. Listen, a detective isn't an arbiter of justice. Unraveling a case is top priority, even with questionable methods.
What do you mean?
In short, you must get them to confess. Use everything in your arsenal, even if it requires bluffing.
Oh, now we're bringing the bluffing and lying back from doing the wrong stuff. Fine.
Emotions must be discarded to make a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. Always remember that.
Bluff. In other words, I should just claim I have solid evidence. But what could I use as a bluff?
Round 2. Hopefully nothing that's as roundabout as that last one. I'm pissed at that last one. I'm gonna immediately take a fucking look at them.
Your stupid fantasies. Everything inside is nothing but fantasy. Do you have any proof that I
Okay, so that needs more than one strike.
Did you find my fingerprints?
That
Did
is
you
cool.
find my blood? Of course there's no evidence.
This is the truth.
Footprints. See how much more simpler. See how simple that was in comparison to the last one where you went through hoops.
Clock Tower's crime scene. There were footprints left under the window in the mud. When we inspected them, we found out they perfectly match your footprints.
Impossible. I already burned those shoes in the incinerator.
You gave yourself away.
I swear, In the name of God.
Looks like it worked. Good job, Yuma. Thanks.
Carnal war is rotten to the core. To say that someone had to get their hands dirty. Those slain were the evil incarnate that harmed others. That's why the people asked the nailmen to kill them. Evil must be punished. And so, I strangled them, made them suffer. All I did was slay evil.
Alright, continuing on.
Someone hates somebody bad enough, they give that name to the mailman. And this priest went around killing those people as the mailman.
The urban legend offered targets for murder.
A priest is supposed to be the voice of God, but he went around killing people because someone wanted them dead. What is awesome!
It's terrible. It's insane to think that he'd kill people for a reason like that.
That could be said about all murders. Insane people kill for insane reasons. Anyway, you did it, Yuma. My expectations of you weren't wrong after all.
Is it finally over?
That would seem like a short
Nothing's happened.
labyrinth.
But last time,
Yeah, the soul of the true culprit who created this mystery labyrinth should appear. And since it didn't, it looks like this isn't over yet.
huh? It's not over?
There are still mysteries related to the mailman killings within this mystery labyrinth.
But we solved all of the locked rooms and discovered the true identity of the mailman. Was I wrong? But the priest even confessed to it.
Calm down, Yuma. There's no need to panic. If the mailman's identity is exposed and all mysteries are yet to be solved, then most likely someone else's agenda is involved in this string of killings.
Someone else's agenda?
Are they all were they all posted by the same person?
You mean there's another culprit? But
Oh, they might have posted, the same person might have posted all the people's names that were killed.
No mystery concludes with a dead end.
That's gonna be my guess.
There's nothing we detectives cannot solve.
all right.
Cause unless you're saying that 4 different people are also the culprit, there's one culprit. And if there's one culprit, then in theory, wouldn't it be the most logical of that one person posted all 4 names?
It would be the room that's obviously different from the others.
Different.
Master, I get the feeling you want my help. Isn't that
No.
right? That's what
That
you
could
want,
also be the
right?
case. The one that is that might be a knockoff, and that would be the museum.
Helpless like that.
Piss off.
Master, lay it all out.
I don't need your help for crap. Wouldn't this be the one that's off? Or are you gonna make me play this minigame each and every time before I can move on? And what?
You can do it, Master.
Okay, I see.
That's right.
I forgot about this specific detail. I just knew that the whole thing. I just knew that the whole thing was off. Somewhat. Well, I guess I did somewhat need the help, but I still was gonna head to the right fucking place no matter what, so never fucking mind. Just let me go. I would have solved that again myself, and voila!
A new path's opened up. It seems to be a hidden passage.
On the bright side, I don't have to
Then
play
the truth
extra
should be
mini
somewhere
games.
down there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I immediately could tell which one was off. Even if I didn't remember specifically why it was off.
I see. So the cause of death for the victim at the art gallery storage is the only one that's different.
Right. The victims in the other locked rooms were all strangled to death. All had strangulation marks and scratches, defensive wounds. The victim in the third locked room had strangulation marks, but no signs of resistance. There's also evidence of blunt trauma to the head, which can be considered the
Ah, that's the thing I forgot. The blunt trauma.
The marks could have been made after the victim died, so as to appear as if strangulation was the cause of death. The real cause of death is blunt force trauma.
Alright, this is another alternate solution for how there could still be another person at large. Oh boy.
Here's another obstacle, but it's likely to be an insignificant one. Yuma, let's solve this mystery and move on.
Right.
Yes, hello, game. Ah, there we go. Apparently I had my fingers offset a little. Alright. Onwards.
The
Back to
strangulation
here.
was faked to imply this crime had the same perpetrator as the other 3 incidents.
I definitely would want to grab hold of that and see if I could actually end up if it would support my weight, just because I don't know.
This was a copycat.
I would be curious if it's actually bolted, how well it's bolted down, I guess. We're back to this.
Among the string of mailman killings, there could be some that were done by copycat criminals.
That has to be why the mystery labyrinth still remains, even after discovering the mailman's identity. So who is the copycat criminal?
Indeed, we need to uncover this imposter's identity.
All right.
You're accusing me of being the copycat criminal? What the hell? I'll kill your ass!
So I know for certain she's red herring, or at least she was last time, and I assume she is again with how violent she's being. Kid, absolutely not.
No.
You... I don't know that you would be able to fit your hand the way that the game's insisting it was done, which would be, again, not feasible anyway, but I'm gonna assume him, and I am correct. That's what threw me off the first time.
You are the copycat criminal.
I knew you had something to do with that.
What are you talking about? I told you all about the Nailman, and even cooperated with your investigation. And now you think I'm a murderer? Are you fucking kidding me? This is crazy. Your investigation isn't worth shit. I'll brought you to dust, you fool!
Oh boy, time to take you down.
Why accuse me of being the culprit? I was just first on the scene.
I missed.
Why do you think
Oh,
I'm a copycat criminal? It could have all been the Nailman. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah?
no. But I think I'm on the right track.
In that case,
Yeah, so it was the first
Why
strike
accuse
that I
me of being the
missed.
culprit? I was just first on the scene.
That's apparently not considered either.
Why accuse me of being the culprit? I was just first on the scene. Why do you think I'm a copycat criminal? It could have all been the Nailman. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah? Even if there was a copycat criminal, why is it me? Kirby could be the copycat. The nut could be the copycat. Anyone could have done it.
That last one is the one that needs to be it.
Why accuse me of being the culprit? I was just first on the scene. Why do you think I'm a copycat criminal? It could have all been the Nailman. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah? Even if there was a copycat criminal, why is it me? Somebody could be the copycat.
Ow.
This could be the copycat. Anyone could have done it.
There we go. I don't like that. It's apparent that it apparently starts just far enough away where you can miss it.
the cause of death in the art gallery was blunt force trauma, faked as a strangling to resemble the Nailman's MO. But the murders all being strangulations wasn't made public right away. The only ones who knew that were those who actually set foot on the crime scenes. That includes the Nailman himself, the peacekeepers, and the first eyewitnesses on the scene. Which means you could have committed the murder in the art gallery.
And he's fleeing.
Master, after him! Get some sense into that sensitive, nonsensical phantom!
The what?
the first on the scene to also be the culprit is rather cliche.
He was always suspicious, but because the real mailman was someone else, I didn't connect the dots. He was fascinated by the mailman, and by studying him, he eventually knew more about him than anyone else. Ultimately, he became the mailman.
It's ironic that he exposed his own crime by knowing too much about mailmans.
Master, the truth is right there! My radar is banging like crazy!
Banging?
Go away! I won't let you! You have the truth!
Wow, this is progressing. This is progressing faster than expected.
If we make him submit, we'll completely solve the mystery labyrinth.
I thought it was gonna take longer.
Guard down.
Oh well, I'll take this. Guess the first one was just particularly long. Alright. Time to attack. And of course, back to this, where I very much would prefer to have the bear.
Let's do this, Master.
Tackle. There we go. Yeah, that's... Press that earlier than expected.
Stop with your lies! Everything was done by the mailman! I'm not the culprit! How dare you accuse me when you have no proof? You didn't even check the crime scenes back then! You're wrong! Huh? Come on!
Thanks to Holara's forte, we were able to see what each crime scene looked like at that time.
Yeah,
Allows me to see the
this
moment the
this
first witness saw the
this is even wacky things happen in Danganronpa, but this is even more out there than that.
We used post-cognition to gather all the evidence.
Kinda is.
Shut up! Stop it! Get away from me! Damn it! Like you! Get away from me! Get away! Who cares if you use post-cognition? You only saw what I saw as the first person I see!
Get back here, Flintlock Wood!
Help lead you to the culprit! You're never gonna find the culprit! What you saw is only what I saw the moment the corpse was discovered!
Polara's post-cognition showed us that the paint can at the gallery storage entrance had been knocked over. And according to the art gallery's
You know
staff member's
something?
testimony, that was
This
your
character
doing.
wasn't given a name.
You went into the crime scene
For
first.
all we know, it could be Flint Lockwood.
You noticed me knocking over the paint can. Polara's post-cognition only shows the scene when the corpse is first discovered. So if you were the first person to find the body, the scene before the paint can fell over would have been recreated. But it wasn't. The paint can had already been knocked over when the corpse was discovered. That means the first person to find the corpse was the art gallery's staff member, not you. The reason you didn't count as the first person to find it is because you're the culprit. This is the truth of the case.
His only given name in this in this game is Worshipper. So since he's only Worshipper, we might as well call him Flint Lockwood. Okay. Okay. Who's the culprit leave the room from? Somebody else. Yep. That's the line. Yep. Tied to the vent. Do we have that right now? Yep. Yep. I still do not think this is physically possible, because you would not be able to apply the force to nail that in without knocking the painting over. No. My mistake. Wrong segment. I was a little bit early. There's the mailman. The mailman is he. And then the copycat is you. There we are. Mystery solved.
A series of locked-room murders based on an urban legend. You discovered the true identity of the Nailman? Two bombs are about to be dropped. Time for the deduction denouement.
To solve the mystery of this string of events, we have to know who the Nailman is first. legend of Kamaru. You write down the name of someone you want dead, and drive a nail through it and a doll to a tree behind the church. And the nailman will kill that person for you with a countless number of nails.
I recall when I decided to actually count the number of nails in one of the corpses because it said a countless number, so I was like, oh really?
The first murder happened 6 months ago at a secret club in Kansaki district.
The victim was none other than the geezer who owned the place, and the cause of death was strangulation. I heard the buy-in to place a bet was pretty steep, and cheating was rampant, so it was obviously a scummy place.
The key to the door was inside of a glass. And the vent that connects outside looked too high for escape to be possible.
But the culprit used the nails driven into the wall as footholds to climb. The proof? Why, the nails that were bent downward.
The vent was not screwed down at the time of the murder, so it could easily be removed and used as an escape route. The second murder happened 3 months ago. It was at a mansion near Bluma district.
The victim was some real estate agent who lived there, and the cause of death was again strangulation. He made a lot of money through shady real estate deals, so of course someone would be out to get him.
The door to the crime scene was the only possible entrance. But the key to that door was underneath the nailed-down victim. After the culprit escaped, some sort of trick was used to get the key back into the room.
A fishing line passed from the vent through the eye socket of the doll and propped up the upper body of the corpse. All that was left was to exit the room, lock it, throw the key in from the vent, and boom! You've got yourself a locked room mystery!
The key was tossed under the victim from the vent, and once the fishing line was retrieved, the corpse's upper body fell over, completing the crime scene.
The nails on the upper body didn't pierce through completely, so it wasn't nailed down at all.
The third murder happened 1 month ago in an art gallery storage room in Bluma district.
The skank's cause of death was blunt force trauma. She was a pretty lady who let her looks get to her head, and she got boom killed.
The key to the storage room was nailed to a painting through a doll. Another trick was used to get the key back inside the room here.
The painting with the doll nailed to it was propped up against the window, and then the culprit left the room. They nailed the key to the painting through the window, knocked it over, and bam! All done!
Alright, see you,
Those are
Joe.
the truths behind the past
I don't know how much
murders.
longer the stream will be. It'll probably be until it ends up saying about the next chapter and saving. But the main portion of it would be the mystery, and you at least got to see that solved.
The clock tower crime scene is rather high up on the 3rd floor. The door was locked from the inside, and the window shutters were also locked. But there was rainwater under the window, and the nails in 2 of the dolls had rub marks.
In other words, the culprit must have hung a rope ladder from the bells to escape out the window. With my logic, anything is possible.
Why are you imitating Halara? Anyway. The killer cut their footing on the way down from the window. That way, they could just pull on one side of the rope to retrieve the whole thing.
The shutters come down under their own weight, so they locked once the rope was collected. I'm surprised you noticed the auto-locking feature. You sure love your shutters, Master.
The rope ladder was collected, then burned in the church incinerator, which only clergy have access to.
That's how you know the mailman must be someone from the clergy.
But one question arose from this. The mailman killing share one more characteristic. All the victims were murdered by strangulation. This piece of information wasn't publicized. means that it was someone mimicking the name. But I already know the identity of the copycat killer. First, the mailman must be someone thin enough to pass through the vent.
Someone with the skills to build a key with precision.
And a clergy member with access to the incinerator.
The priest! You're the mailman!
The copycat is someone who knows that all of the victims were strangled to death.
Because he was the first witness in each case, the person capable of replicating the mailman's crimes is...
The worshipper! You're the copycat criminal!
This is the truth of the case. What's that?
It's the truth. The soul of the true culprit who built this mystery labyrinth.
I see. It looks otherworldly, but there's an ominous air around it.
Thank you, Halara. I was only able to make it this far thanks to you.
I only kept my part of the deal. You made the right choice hiring me. But I will say one thing. You've taken another step toward being a detective. That much is certain. I, Halara Nightmare, acknowledge you.
Really, Halara? You do?
Alright, all eyes on Shinigami.
What's
I'd
the
rather not.
Oh, isn't it obvious? The moment we've all been waiting for! Time to reveal the bad guy! Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The primitive soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. To all deplorables. To the final mystery labyrinth.
I'd much prefer to be able to kick around Monokuma again.
Glorious stellar spiral.
Just let me chuck the robotic stuffed teddy bear at them.
Father?
Are you alright?
What's going on? What happened to those two?
There's no pulse. They're dead.
Dead? What?
Oh good, back to the purple ghost blob thing.
I sure worked hard today. So good to boom kill the murderer.
The mystery labyrinth crumbles when you root the soul of the true culprit. Then, the cause of the mystery labyrinth's creation pays the price by vanishing with it. I knew this would happen, but it still hurts to see someone die before my eyes. It's like I killed them myself. No, I did kill them. I killed them with the ruthless blade of the truth.
There, there. Humans boom kill cows and pigs all the time and eat them. You don't feel bad about that, right? These were the souls of deranged murderers. At least you didn't eat them. If you look at it that way, there's nothing to feel bad about at all.
It's not so simple when it comes to people dying.
Did you people do this? Did you kill them with some kind of poison?
Hey, hold on. I have no idea what's going on here. Too much is happening all at once.
We shall talk at headquarters. Follow me there immediately.
Is it just me, or are things more complicated now than before entering the mystery labyrinth?
Oh, you want help? Are you going to rely on me again? Oh, fine. I can't say no when you ask for help.
Everyone! Ah! He came back to life! Sorry about that. You see, I'm actually the neighbor.
What?
These are my final words, so I can't lie. I'm the mailman. The worshiper laying there is just a copycat criminal. Search the church for the tools used in each crime. I'm sure you'll find plenty of evidence. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check it out. Thanks!
I didn't know you could do that. But that was a super lazy confession. Will it work?
I mean, they are super lazy.
You have witnesses, so this case is closed.
I mean, the peacekeepers are super lazy.
Something, but I couldn't quite hear him. Anyway, everyone here will be taken to Amaterasu Corporation at once.
What?
It wasn't effective at all.
He's so stubborn. This is why I hate authority.
What do we do?
Wait, I hear something.
Huh? What now?
Motorbike. Something is heading this way at an alarming speed.
It can't be.
Where is that coming from? No. What are you doing here?
Who are you?
You dare speak so carelessly? Who do you think I am?
The hero who defends peace and order in Kronai Ward. Director of the Amaterasu Peacekeepers. The Honorable Yomi Houseline.
The Peacekeeper's director?
So he is the head of the Peacekeepers.
Now you know, small fry. Bow down.
What are you doing here?
No need to be alarmed. The benevolent Director Yomi is here to help. Oh, excuse me for the late introduction. I am Vice Director, the Peacekeepers, Martina Electra.
She's my beloved right hand. No one else gets to have her.
What's with him?
Master, be careful. This Yomi guy is dangerous.
Huh?
I've never seen anyone in such a dangerous aura before.
He's that bad?
So, what brings you here?
Oh, right. I was so focused on my beloved right hand that I completely forgot.
As mentioned earlier, Director Yomi is here to help. I hear you've been troubled by Seth's unreasonable treatment. Is that right?
Huh?
Director Yomi, what is going on here? Why am I...
We have discovered you've been receiving sizable kickbacks for facilitating donations meant for the church. We now know why you were so desperate to clean up all the mailman records. After all, it would be troublesome to lose access to all that money if the priest was arrested as the mailman.
Wait, please. Director Yomi, I did this under your orders.
Did you say something? Because I didn't hear a thing.
I only did this because you ordered me to.
Seth, you make me sad. I'm the hero and defender of peace in this city. My peacekeepers are proud soldiers of that mission. And yet, you let yourself be corrupted. How could you? Seth, for the sake of the peacekeepers and the peace of Kanai Ward, die.
Taking advantage of your position as a peacekeeper executive is a serious crime. The punishment must be severe.
But...
Yeah, I'm annoyed my own underling would betray me like this. I'm so annoyed, I'd go insane if I didn't toy around with my beloved right hand.
It's an honor.
The hell is wrong with
He's terrible.
half the characters of
Like a
this
lizard
game?
cutting off its own tail to survive.
someone like him is in charge of the Peacekeepers?
Don't look him in the eyes. Don't talk to him either. If possible, don't even breathe the same air as him. Though it's probably too late for that.
Well then. To our shit for brains friends playing detective. Looks like I have to give you a warning. Know your place in my city and stay there. Follow the rules and don't disturb our peace. Or I'll need you to die!
In this
That
city, Director Yomi is both the law
was,
and the peacekeepers itself. Defying us means you defy
not the
them.
most threatening laugh.
You will receive fitting treatment for such behavior.
Before, you were insignificant specks of dust. But now that you've banded together, you've become an eyesore. Detectives, my ass. Shit.
Wow. That's not very nice.
Let's go, my beloved right hand.
Yes, Director Yomi.
Looks like we've been targeted by someone dangerous.
Yeah, thanks to you. One wrong move and it would have been all over. You got that? Right, but... No buts! None! How did this happen anyway?
Laura, help me out. Please explain what happened. You said you acknowledged me as a detective, didn't you?
What? When did I say that?
Huh?
It's such a shame, Master. Everything that happens in the Mystery Labyrinth gets forgotten.
What?
Alara's memory must have been wiped after entering and leaving the labyrinth. Nothing inside the Mystery Labyrinth can be taken into the real world. Not even memories. Unless you have a contract with yours truly, that is.
What? I thought Alara and I had finally reached an understanding.
Memories from up until you enter the Mystery Labyrinth are retained, like the debt you owe for your assignment.
That's awful! Hey, Yuma? Are you listening? You better make sure this doesn't happen again.
By the way, Chief, our submarine office is tipping over. Are you sure the peacekeepers didn't mess with it?
What? Seriously? I have to go back and repair it. Yuma, help me out. Follow me.
Yuma, it was supposed to be time for your solution, but we've ended up in a mess.
Huh? Yeah.
Before they could be accused, the true culprit suddenly died. It's my first time dealing with such a thing. Still, I do remember this. You did your absolute best to try and solve the case.
Huh?
You should be proud.
Alara.
Look, the chief is calling for you. You should go.
All right. Thank you.
Alright, I wonder how much more story we'll end up getting.
Are you serious? The Peacekeeper executive was taking bribes from the church?
If Director Yomi said so, it would be considered the truth, even if it isn't.
What about the priest being the mailman?
It's going to be publicly announced as the truth. It appears the priest's strong desire to save others turned him into the nailman. He saw people wishing for revenge as they hammered those nails in the forest, and decided he needed to save them. That was the motive, though it could all be a story made up by the peacekeepers.
So, what about the kitty cat criminal?
You mean the copycat?
That one was already publicized as well. They say the copycat did it out of admiration for the real nailman.
And in the end, he felt so much guilt that he poisoned himself? None of this really makes any sense.
It sure didn't look like death by poison to me.
It was me! I did it along with that detective kneeling in penitence over there.
It would make more sense to assume Yomi killed them somehow. Especially when you consider the timing. He'd do it without batting an eye.
Yomi Hellsmile, the director of the Peacekeepers, the leader of our enemy.
I heard he rode in on a dragon.
No, it was a motorcycle.
From what I've investigated, the Peacekeepers' influence is gaining ground at Amaterasu Corporation. There's some sort of power struggle going on. Seems like they're getting their way internally. I hear that their boss, Yomi, is extraordinarily dangerous.
Extraordinary. So he is very normal? How scary.
It's only a matter of time until the Peacekeepers gain complete control of the corporation. When that happens, they might outright attack the World Detective Organization.
Perhaps the WDO made its move because they saw the warning signs. If that's the case, it could have something to do with Kanai World's ultimate secret.
Oh yeah, what's the deal with Kanai Ward's ultimate secret? We still know nothing about it, huh?
It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the mailman incident. I wonder what it could be.
Sheesh, so much to deal with. This sounds exhausting.
Didn't I tell you that from the start?
We have to obey directives from number one, no matter how difficult they are.
Well, we got some very talented master detectives gathered here. I'm sure it'll be fine. So much. No, everything changes from now on. Yuma, you can take a seat now.
My legs feel numb.
Don't stick your neck out recklessly from now on, for everyone's sake. Got it?
Got it.
Hey, we worked super hard. I'm so stressed, I could die. Oh wait, but I can't die.
Do we have a visitor? That's rare. Yuma, you go get it?
Sure. Oh, it's you.
My dad is back safe at home. It's all thanks to you. Thank you for helping us.
No, I just... Well, I'm happy for you.
Oh, look at you getting thanked. You were on your knees just a moment ago.
Be quiet.
Oh. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
What is it?
Did someone else die or something? Will you play catch with me?
Huh? Catch? But it's raining. Actually, sure. Let's play. The unending rain. My memories still seem like faraway raindrops. My hands still have yet to grasp a single thing. I'm still lost. Is it all right for me to be here? But with the warm baseball gripped in my hand, my heart somehow feels lighter. Why I wanted to be a detective? It could have been for the sake of something so small that it fits in my hand. Maybe I should give myself credit for this small realization. So, for just a bit longer, I think I'll keep pretending to be a detective.
Oh, there we go. The end of chapter 1. Results. Okay, I still didn't do near. I was worried it would end up being greatly worse. No, I just ended up apparently missing a double S on something. And then I don't recall what my stamina was last time. It might have been even worse. So I might have improved, actually. Well, slightly. In the case of stamina. Oh well. That's good, at least. Save progress. Yep. Yep. And with that save, that will be the end of the stream. Or at least should be. I would like to see what this loading is first. Oh. Saving.
Unpainted faces in uniform by the window. This isn't the real me.
I'm going to assume I can watch this when I actually do the thing.
With that, a hand reaches out.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, that's the end of the stream. I guess you could. You know what? Let's treat this like a sneak peek. Let's do that, shall we? If we see this again at the beginning of next stream, oh well. Let's just let this run its course. Okay, at this point, I almost have to guarantee that we would end up seeing this, so yeah. See you guys next time, and we'll probably start back up around here. If not,
Good morning, everyone.
yeah, at this point, the game's actually going, so we won't miss any cutscenes. See everyone next time.
Cut today.